welcome back to the Not Carrie Bradshaw YouTube channel. In this video, I am devastated to review the season finale of P-Valley Murda Night. First of all, before we even get started, I just want to shout out Katori Hall and her crew of female directors and the performers, the actors, everyone did such a great job of creating a story that we could really get involved in. And I think this was something that I got to look forward to every week, where there isn't a whole lot to look forward to right now because we don't know if we can plan anything. So I'm really appreciative of this team for giving us something to look forward to and to discuss as a family each week, and of course give me some content over here. Hello. So shouts out to them. Thank you guys for everything that you did and that you are doing and that you provided for us, from the music to the cinematography to the storylines. A1, we love you all. Here are your flowers. We honor you. The Pynk was a powder keg ready to explode. There was so much going on in this episode. It's Lil Murda's big night, and Wody, his manager slash cousin, delivered on bringing this record executive scouting person to watch him perform. And this person seems to be much more interested in Keyshawn than in Lil Murda. And I'm gonna say Lil Murders Performance was so live. It felt like I was there. I loved seeing Uncle Clifford turn up for her man's music. When Lil Murda threw that fur in the crowd and Uncle Clifford went to retrieve that coat, I was like, you better reclaim your man's property, sis. I loved it. The energy, I felt the energy through the television. And also shouts out to recording artist Landstrip Chip for writing Lil Murda's verses, or the song rather. Stellar job. That's family. Shouts out to you. So Hailey, Autumn, is in the VIP with her ex, and she starts dancing for him, I guess to build some time, and takes off her top as an SOS to security because of the ordinance that the city council or whomever, the mayor, put into place. They can serve alcohol, but they can't have boobs out. So she takes her top off to signal in, from the VIP room, like, I'm in trouble, like, somebody come help me. So this man is scary. We find out that he's a part of some sort of gang. It's a lot going on. I'm scared for Hailey. People are banging on the door, but he won't let her, go or escape or anything. So we have that happening. We also have Derrick, who is in the club, kind of like losing his shit, obviously getting jealous that Keyshawn is getting all of this attention. And they go to the VIP section, Lil Murda, Wody, the record exec, and Keyshawn. They go to this VIP section where the homophobia jumps out. I was so devastated for Lil Murda, for sure, but also for Uncle Clifford, who walked in and could just tell, like, I'm not welcome here in her own establishment. I think that the homophobia in our community is so prevalent, but then if a rapper was on the down low, y'all would criticize them for that as well. We don't create enough of a safe space as a community for rappers to be out. We barely do that for actors. So when it comes to hip hop, which is such, like, you have to be such this very specific identity of masculinity, there's no room for you to be anything other than real, blah, 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 blah. Everything that this man, who is Westlake High School alumni, shouts out, boo, he was fine. He was toxic masculinity personified. And not only was he basically telling Lil Murda, like, I can elevate you, X, Y, and Z. He's talking about a 360 deal, which I am nobody's entertainment lawyer, but I heard those really aren't great. And then wants Lil Murda to get rid of Wody, who is his manager, and also get rid of his producer, who's the kid who, has been making this music for him. And I think this also gets into the conversation about whether you want to go with a label that can give you those big budget advantages, like, legit studio and things like that, or stay independent and have to do things from a smaller scale. And you can see Lil Murda is really being confronted with, which life are you going to choose? Are you going to be honest, or are you going to continue with this facade? Because you're used to doing it for so long. And I really do love that when he went to confront Uncle Clifford, I appreciate that Uncle Clifford stood her ground and was like, I'm not going to be confused because you're confused. You don't know what you want. So when you make that decision, then you come talk to me. I think that it's important for all of us to have that kind of standard for ourselves, and that ability to say, like, I'm not gonna settle. So I really, really love that. And my heart broke for Uncle Clifford in this episode for sure, because this is possibly the last night of you having this business that means so much to you, and now this man who you have allowed yourself to trust is now flexing on you. And I think, unfortunately, we've all maybe experienced that to some extent, or at least I have. If you haven't, good for you, girl. So Mercedes goes into a VIP room with Coach, who's one of her devoted patrons, and makes this proposition to him, to invest in her gym for $10,000. And he says that he will do it, but at the price of her basically being a kept woman. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's a great opportunity, you should jump at it. No, she would be setting herself up for financial abuse. He's paying for your condo. He has a key to it to come and go as he pleases, but he's not going to commit to you in a real way. Like, skybox seats and all this and that, sure, but you would be stuck with a person who's not going to actually commit to you. And they can come and go into your life as they please. That to me does not sound like a good deal. And I'm sorry, but $10,000 just is not worth it. It's not. If you could save up X amount, you can save up this amount too. Like, it's not worth it. And I think people have to consider, when you say you want to be kept by a man like that, by a man who's already married but wants to keep you, it's not giving what you think is giving. That's not necessarily a situation that I think that you actually want, because that person, you end up giving that person so much control over your existence. And I just don't think that's something that you actually want in a real way. But I don't know you, maybe you do. So the little boy who Mercedes' homeboy used to use to babysit his tracking device comes to the club so that he can reveal to Mercedes that Autumn is Hailey, Autumn is missing. Mercedes puts two and two together. And let me just say, if you are not willing to run through a club in sky-high platform stilettos for me to come to my aid if I need you, I don't even want the friendship, because Mercedes was trucking it through that club once she put two and two together. Her intuition clicked on and she was like, I gotta go save my girl. She finds a way to get into this room and is, trying to communicate with Autumn / Hailey, like, bitch, what you want to do? So we have that going on. Then we have Big L, who leaves his post to go and unpack some oxy from Gidget's kind of sort of boyfriend. So he's not even on guard like he's supposed to be in order to help these ladies out in this VIP situation that is, growing quite scary. Because it's two women, but you also have a very violent man. And I'm going to be really honest with y'all. I really thought that Hailey / Autumn was going to leave Mercedes there, take that money and run. And that guy, I don't know if he was just trying to damage her character, but I did kind of get the feeling that Hailey is not a wholesome, person. She's not on the up and up either. Maybe there's something there. I don't trust her. Let me just say that. I don't trust her. I never have. So, Derrick hems Keyshawn up. This was really hard to watch. And Derrick and Diamond finally have a face-off in the bathroom, and let me just say, I was not expecting for Derrick to be able to stick with Diamond in that regard. And at one point, I was just like, you better not let this abusive-ass white man beat your ass in here. And of course, the scene happens that had us all upset with Keyshawn, where Keyshawn sides with her abuser, as opposed to the person who's her friend who's trying to protect her. This is upsetting, but this is also a thing that happens. Sometimes you have to kind of extend some empathy or sympathy to the mind state of a domestic abuse victim. I don't know if it's Stockholm syndrome or what, but that does happen. There are people who are in abusive situations who will defend their abuser before they will allow someone to save them. And what I have been questioning for myself is, at that point, do you just have to give up? Do you just have to let go because that person doesn't want to be saved? And we've seen like Keyshawn has a very compromised sense of self-worth and self-confidence, and maybe she just doesn't want to be saved. And the actor who plays her, you know, even spoke to the fact that she was upset with the character when she turned on Diamond. You know, she pulled a whole ass gun on Diamond, who has been a support system for her. So I was devastated to see that. And not just because Diamond fine as hell, but also that, like, wow, you were really in deep in this very abusive relationship. I really appreciate the fact that Uncle Clifford comes to save the day for Mercedes and Hailey / Autumn. I'm happy that these women don't need men to save them, that they can protect each other and they can protect themselves. I thought that was really poetic. And I don't care what they did with their body. I just hope they hid it well. And I guess we'll find out in season 2. The show concludes with Hailey saving the day, you know, putting up the money that she stole to save the Pynk. And sure, you know, the club is saved, but what kind of business partner is Hailey going to be moving forward? I am a little bit concerned about that because something doesn't feel right about her to me. I'm going to say too, I really hate that Mercedes went crawling back to her mom. I absolutely hate it. I think Patrice Woodbine, if this was Game of Thrones, I would wish for her to be killed off. It's like that level of disdain that I have for her. So, you know, we tied off some loose ends, but we have some questions that need answers in season 2, which we don't know when we're actually going to get because of COVID and social distancing. They don't know when they're going to be able to resume production, but it's something to look forward to. And, you know, we'll find out where Lil Murda lands with his career, you know, what kind of partner Hailey is going to be, if Mercedes is going to get back on her feet. I really hate that she started off, you know, being so on top, and throughout this entire series she had everything kind of stripped away from her, and it looks like her and Hailey switched positions where, you know, Hailey started off on the bottom of the totem pole and now she's at the very top. So I do hope that in season 2 Mercedes finds a way to get her life back and to get, you know, control and independence. So I'm sad that the series is over for this season. I'm happy they have a season 2, and just again, shouts out to Katori Hall and everyone on the P-Valley team. This was a great first season. I can't wait to see what they give us next. So be sure to share and comment and subscribe, and, you know, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And if you would like to help support me to continue creating content, you can become a patron on my Patreon. And thank you guys for tuning in. So talk soon. Bye.